Coming up next on West Side Stories, it's time for our holiday special. First, we take you to a Christmas parade and get a rare interview with Santa.
Then we visit NORAD to find out how and why they track Santa's sleigh on Christmas Eve.
And we take a look at a very special holiday cookie that's actually good for you.
All this and more coming up on West Side Stories.
West Side Stories is produced by students from the Multimedia Journalism program at Grand Valley State University. Support also comes from the School of Communications. Inspiring thought, perfecting practice.
Welcome to West Side Stories. I'm Elliot Perpich.
And I'm Mackenzie Sorrell. This week our show is filled with stories about the holiday.
That's right, Mackenzie, because Christmas Eve is tomorrow. We're doing a special show that's filled with holiday spirit tonight. And what better way to start things off than to hear from the big guy himself. Reporter John Rothwell caught up with a very busy Santa Claus as he stopped in Grand Rapids recently for the annual Christmas parade.
You better watch out. You better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
On November 17th, Santa Claus did come to town.
Santa comes down here every year for the Grand Rapids Parade because it is one of the greatest parades in the country, certainly in the state of Michigan. And the people in Grand Rapids, the kids in Grand Rapids are some of the nicest and sweetest kids around, so I make sure I come and see them every year.
Santa Claus has been a visitor of Grand Rapids since 1919. Thousands of people lined the street as jolly old St. Nick made his annual pre-Christmas visit. During the parade, Santa is pulled on the parade route in a replica sleigh.
I'm driving Santa Claus because Santa Claus only gets clearance once a year to fly over Grand Rapids and deliver presents, so we have to drive him. He can't fly his sleigh through town.
If Santa Claus can't fly his sleigh in for the parade, how does he get to Grand Rapids?
I come in on the Polar Express, Santa's train, and when we come here, I fly in at night. I park the Polar Express, my train, in one of the big hangars that they put their jets in at the airport, and then they have...
But Santa Claus cannot do it all alone.
I don't know how I got this big, but apparently I am the largest elf on Earth.
Santa works with a team of elves, and this time of year is the busiest of them all.
Oh, it's crazy right now. Busy time of the year, but Santa grants us a little time here and there. Gotta give the crew a little break now and then to have a little fun.
Santa tells us that Legos are the most requested toy, but they can cause problems in his workshop.
My elves are just like the kids. They love to play with Legos. When I get back there tonight, there's a good chance that the workshop will be in a mess because the elves, the last hour or so, they quit working making the toys and the Legos, and they spend their time playing with the Legos.
It takes a lot to put on an event like this. Jasmine Sanders was a volunteer at the parade. We had our own request for Santa.
And when you meet Santa, what are you going to ask for?
Good grades. That's it. That's all I want.
Other kids had different requests.
And what do you want for Christmas?
A big vanity. Then I want...
Tell him. A football jersey?
A football jersey. Football jersey.
What do you want?
I want the Patriots football jersey.
Good grades, vanities, and football jerseys. Santa only gives out the toys to those who make his nice list.
But I always tell them they've got between now and Christmas Eve to make sure they make Santa's good list. So there's still a chance.
Santa said that he enjoyed being in the parade and looks forward to next year's visit.
Well, I would just like to wish all of the kids of all ages here in West Michigan a very Merry Christmas, and I just know that it's going to be a great year for everyone.
In Grand Rapids, wishing you happy holidays, I'm John Rothwell.
What a jolly guy that St. Nick is. Am I right, Mackenzie?
That's right, Elliot. Our reporter on that story, John Rothwell, tells us that parents and kids had several more questions for Santa, but that Santa regretfully didn't have time for an extended interview. So we here at West Side Stories would like to answer some of those questions now. In the following special report, our producer, James Ford, digs deep to find the answers to some of Santa's toughest questions.
You know who's coming soon. For one night only, it's
Santa Claus!
Tell me you're getting this.
It's hard to track Santa. That's where the North American Aerospace Defense Command comes in, or NORAD for short. NORAD tracks Santa on radar. You see, NORAD's job is to watch the skies and the seas to make us safe, but in December, NORAD also helps track Santa. It all started back in 1955 when an ad in a Sears catalog mistakenly gave out the hotline number to NORAD instead of Santa's number. Colonel Harry Shoup instructed his staff to help out kids by tracking Santa, and NORAD, with the help of a lot of volunteers, has been doing it ever since. NORAD's Santa Tracker doesn't go live until Christmas Eve, but meanwhile, there's a lot of information about the big guy in red on the website. There's a section on frequently asked questions that answers things like, what route does Santa fly? Does Santa visit everyone? And the big question, how does Santa travel the whole world in just a few hours? Kids also want to know if NORAD has pictures of Santa Claus. NORAD says yes they do, and that they're ready to give jolly old St. Nick and his reindeer an escort if they ever need it. The website also offers technical data on the sleigh that Santa flies through the night on Christmas Eve. And while you're waiting for Christmas Eve, when the Santa tracking radar goes live, you can also check out online games in the arcade, watch movies of Santa in the theater, jam to some Christmas tunes on the music stage, or learn more about the history of Christmas and how it's celebrated throughout the world. NORAD isn't the only one tracking Santa. Google has been tracking Jolly St. Nick since 2005. If you go to santatracker.google.com, you'll find more information about Santa. Like NORAD, Google's Santa Tracker doesn't go live until Christmas Eve, but there's lots to do in the meantime. You can make your own elf, save him or her, and send your creation to your friends. You can also join Santa's elves for a rap battle, just one of the many online games you'll find on the site. So between santatracker.google.com and noradsanta.org, you'll have plenty of fun while you wait for the big man to deliver the goods on Christmas Eve.
If you want to track Santa as he zooms across the skies on Christmas Eve, go to noradsanta.org.
Santa is not the only one traveling on Christmas Eve. There are lots of people hitting the road to meet family or friends, or maybe do some last-minute shopping. Reporter Savannah Bressman filed this report with how to stay safe while driving this holiday season.
The holiday season is here, and with it, it brings traveling. I'm going to show you some of the best ways to stay safe while driving this winter season. With the weather starting to change and the roadways and parking lots becoming more slick and more packed, Sergeant Vanderbosch of the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office suggests that people should leave more time than expected when traveling this winter season.
Leaving yourself lots of extra time to get to where you have to go. So for instance, if you're leaving for work, give yourself an extra 20 minutes to a half hour, depending on how bad the winter storm is on that particular day.
Vanderbosch says that the most common type of accidents during the winter is the type of crashes that could have easily been avoided.
The winter months involve a lot of one-car crashes. The most common is sliding off the roadway into a ditch, collision with guardrails, highway traffic signposts, collisions with trees. Anything real close to the edge of the roadway. When you talk about two-car crashes, the most common probably is a failure to maintain an assured clear distance.
One of the most important things to do in the wintertime is winterize your vehicle. Kent County Road Commission and Ottawa County Sheriff suggest 3 different ways that you can winterize a car. First is to get a proper tune-up by a mechanic.
Second is to change your tires to some winter tires. And third is to get a new, fresh set of windshield wipers.
The Kent County Road Commission works hard to keep the roads clear and safe for drivers in the wintertime. However, sometimes the snow can be heavy, and when plows go through to clear the roads, they can break personal belongings or damage vehicles.
If we physically strike it with a snowplow, we're responsible for it, okay? If it's your car, if it's a mailbox, if we physically strike it. A lot of the times it's not the vehicle that strikes it, it's the weight of the snow. If it's the weight of the snow, it's your responsibility.
Be sure to remember these key safety tips when you get in the car this winter season. Reporting in Allendale, I'm Savannah Bressman.
When you're traveling this holiday season, be sure not to rush and that you give the snowplow and salt trucks enough time to make the roads safe.
The now classic Warner Brothers movie, The Polar Express, was released in 2004, but few people know that the Polar Express was modeled after the actual 1225 steam engine. The 1225 train comes to life each Christmas in Owosso, Michigan, pulling nearly 1,000 passengers on a magical journey. Photojournalist John Rothwell tells the story in words and pictures.
Featured in the movie The Polar Express, the 1225 steam engine, now known as the North Pole Express, is leaving the station in Owosso, Michigan, headed north to the Christmas celebration in the small town of Ashley.
They used our train for the movie The Polar Express. However, we don't own rights to the Polar Express, so we had to have our own Christmas name.
Sitting in the engineer seat of the North Pole Express was volunteer Barty Gramling.
The biggest challenge is giving the customers a smooth enough ride, because there's anywhere from upwards of 1,000 people back there, and you slop their cocoa over and they get a little upset.
One of those passengers, Luke Young, has been riding the North Pole Express since 2015.
We come up here, we always get different carts, and we just have a lot of fun. We do different activities on the train. I built a Lego train set that I got from the gift shop, and I have hot chocolate, and I just visited with my family.
Once arriving in Ashley, passengers deboard for a fun-filled, holiday-themed 2-hour visit.
The train brings the magic in. I mean, when the Polar Express comes in, the magic comes in. The town comes to life, there's people everywhere, and when it leaves, of course, the magic goes with it, and it goes back to Ashley, a small little town.
Even the Grinch was in the holiday spirit.
I'm here to make Christmas better. I'm entertaining the children. I'm so happy that they're at the North Pole to see all of us.
Andrew D'Azeno also entertained the passengers by walking around the town on stilts.
Everything is so kind of vintage here already. It really brings that old world style, just like it would be, in a fairy tale.
Being born in Ashley and now working at the Village Pantry, Heather Bulla finds the North Pole Express very interesting.
A lot of people have never even heard of this town. Now we're getting people from other countries, Europe, Australia. We've had people from Japan. We get people from Canada. It's really interesting to hear all the different accents.
When the train whistle blows and the conductor yells out, "All aboard!" the 900 passengers reboard the North Pole Express for a trip back to Owosso. In Ashley, Michigan, I'm John Rothwell.
A holiday special would not be complete without food, would it, Mackenzie?
You are absolutely right, Elliot.
So let's do cookies, but not just any cookie. We're going to show you how to make protein cookies because we want you to be healthy even when you're getting fat. Let's check it out.
Hi, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Jake.
We all love Christmas cookies, right?
Yes.
But we don't want to get fat.
Well, I mean, who can eat millions of cookies in one night and not get fat, right?
Okay, so Santa doesn't have to worry about calories, but we do.
That's why we have a healthy cookie alternative, and it's got protein.
They're called cinnamon roll breakfast cookies, and we're gonna make them for you right now.
Before we get started, here's what you're gonna need. Raw honey, salt, peanut butter, whey protein with caffeine, cinnamon, vanilla extract, oats, some Rice Krispies, white chocolate chips, and then some coconut oil.
We're gonna pour 2 tablespoons of honey into a clear bowl. And now we're going to add a 1/2 cup of creamy peanut butter. And we're gonna microwave this just to soften it up.
After it comes out of the microwave, we're gonna add the rest of the dry ingredients. Whey protein, vanilla extract, cinnamon, and salt. Then we're gonna add the oats and Rice Krispies and mix them up thoroughly.
Now we're gonna shape the cookie mixture into 1-inch balls and flatten them a little.
I'm not a baker.
Obviously. Yes. Now you frost the cookies with the melted white chocolate.
And that's all there is to it.
If you want to find this recipe, you can go to chelseasmessyapron.com.
And don't forget to make Santa some hot chocolate with his cookies, because he likes it.
Oh, don't those look great? They're healthy and you can eat them for breakfast. I love it.
Me too. If you find yourself eating too many cookies this holiday season, you may want to think about a New Year's resolution to exercise more. And that's why we are going to bring you this next feature. Last year at about this time, reporter Reagan Blissett visited the gym to find out who is working out and why.
New year, new you. Some people's New Year's resolution might often lead you to the gym, where you can start off the year on the right track. Many declare their workout goals on social media, the same place where thousands were talking about those crazy hats they saw in Times Square on New Year's Eve.
I love that we were able to coordinate with the Rockin' New Year's Eve with Jenny McCarthy. It really set a tone for the beginning of the year. Sometimes people don't enjoy coming to the gym, but Jenny McCarthy really set up that excitement for us. So everybody is excited to come to the gym.
This time of year, Planet Fitness is swamped with new members. Personal trainer David Laponzi tells newbies to keep workouts simple and doable.
First and foremost, to have clear, realistic expectations of what they can actually achieve. Not, I'm going to get to the gym every day this month. Maybe choose 3-4 days out of the week that you can make it to the gym for sure.
In January, this place can be a zoo, and that has some longtime members complaining to management that they can't get to the equipment they need.
So at this club, we are 24/7, so we really tell anyone that's concerned that they can come in at any time and get their workout in. Otherwise, we do have tons of cardio here too, so there's really never any wait times for machines like that.
Chad Tatro has been a member since this Planet Fitness opened last year. He says he's never had a problem finding equipment to use.
It's like the first time I stepped in here, it's like house family. They're just very welcoming, warm-hearted. If you're having a bad day, they're going to definitely put a smile on your face.
Not only has Planet Fitness seen an increase of members, but also the recreation center at Grand Valley State University. However, one college student has a more extreme fitness journey ahead of her. Her name is Brooke Bauman, a national bikini competitor.
I've been in prep for 11 weeks. I have a 22-week prep. I work out, I lift weights 6 times a week. I do cardio 6 times a week. I have 1 full rest day. I can spend anywhere from 2 to 3 hours at the gym right now.
Bauman is no stranger to the spotlight. It started 3 years ago when she found a passion for nutrition. She combined that passion with bodybuilding and discovered her love for competing. Now she's getting ready for her 5th competition on March 31st. Bauman, or known as Muscle Barbie Brooke on Instagram, shares her fitness journey with over 25,000 followers. She wants her followers to know anyone can accomplish their fitness goals too.
Some people look at fitness Instagrams like, oh, she's intimidating. Like, I don't want that. I want to be able to put out there that, yes, this is what I look like and this is what I can do, but I want you to know that you can too.
Bauman says a New Year's resolution is a great opportunity for a lifestyle change.
One of the people that always encourage newcomers into the gym, I think that the New Year's aspect of it is a great mindset change.
While most people here are just trying to lose a little weight, Bauman's resolution is to be fitter and stronger than ever. From Allendale, I'm Reagan Blisson.
Once again, that story was from last January, but it's a good reminder of how to stay in shape after eating all of that great holiday food.
And that's a reminder I'm going to need. But this next story from reporter Sam Hall and I puts a clever twist on the classic story The Night Before Christmas. Check it out. 'Twas the night before finals, and all through the apartment, not a student was studying, not a study guide was started. We students all sat and began to discuss, conversing over the chances of averaging a C+. The bookworms were happy, they had a good education, but they were only 1/10 of the population. With pencils in hand and cabin socks in shoes, we laid on the table, trying to catch a snooze. When out of the kitchen we heard a peep. I lifted my head to see what disrupted our sleep. 'Twas a man of our stature with ideas in his head, and arms filled to the brim with coffee and bread. No heavy foods, not much sugar or dairy. It couldn't be, but it was. The caffeine fairy. Yes, I knew it was him by the way that he shook, and he said all he needed with a wave and a look. We were stunned, in awe, our faces paralyzed, and in a moment he was gone, before we even realized. And just like that, the tone of the room did shift, because though the fairy left, he also left us some gifts. It was a hurricane of brain food. We were blown away. Coffees black and light for night and PB&Js for days. Looking around, we saw everything on our wish list, for there was enough caffeine to keep us buzzing till Christmas. That's when the fairy returned to issue one final warning. Make sure you don't take so much that you're hospitalized by morning. Well, that was embarrassing, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless.
And now that our holiday show is coming to an end, we have just one more special feature to show you. Here's a video montage of Christmas lights around the greater Grand Rapids area. Enjoy.
That's just about all the time we have for this episode of West Side Stories Holiday Special, but before we go, just a quick reminder that it's not too late to make a donation to one of your favorite charities. One of our favorites is the Make-A-Wish Foundation. You can find it at wish.org. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Elliot Perpich.
And I'm Mackenzie Sorrell. And from all of us here at West Side Stories, we wish you a safe and happy holiday.
West Side Stories is produced by students from the Multimedia Journalism program at Grand Valley State University. Support also comes from the School of Communications, inspiring thought, perfecting practice.